One of the images that I chose to critique for this assignment is by Julie Meinert. I chose this particular image because I believe that it's easy for a viewer to understand, but without it being too obvious. I will first describe the image in detail so that the audience has a good mental image of what the image actually looks like. I will then explain some of the elements and principles of art and design that I see within the image. Let me first by describing the image. The image has a lot of different shapes and patterns seen primarily behind the subject. There is only one subject in the image. The subject is a little girl, probably around the age of 9. She has brown hair and is wearing a green, white, and red plaid dress with a bright red cape over the top of her dress. The hood on her cape is up and over her head, but it does not completely cover her hair and face, as you can see a portion of her left profile. The image captures the left side of the subject. The subject's facial expressions are dull, not showing much emotion. She is ringing the doorbell with her right index finger on a brick house with a white iron patterned door. Her left hand is down by her side holding a brown wicker basket. In the basket is a green and yellow snack-sized bag of Lay's chips, a red Coca-Cola can, 2 other yellow bags of chips, and a green object tied within the red bow on the handle that appears to be a medical syringe. The brick on the house is seen in the front left and back right of the image. The white iron door is in front of the subject, and it contains a gold metal handle. There is a window in the background and a small gray electrical box on the ground under the window against the house. Many elements of line are seen in the image, which leads the viewer's eye throughout the entire image. The lighting is kind of dark and the light hits the top of the subject's cape. This leads me to believe that it was a gloomy day outside when the image was taken. The sidewalk also appears to be a little wet. I think that the exposure of the image could be lightened a little bit so that the objects in the image are easier to notice. Pattern is seen through the repetition of bricks in the foreground and background of the house, as well as through the swirly pattern design on the iron door. The colors seen within the image are red, green, white, yellow, gray, brown, and black. The red colored cape is the most visually capturing color since it makes up the majority of the image. The perspective of the image is a slightly downward angle that was taken from a perspective slightly above the subject's head. Overall, the image does a great job of demonstrating a narrative. In this case, it is obvious through the red cape and basket of goodies that the narrative used in the image is the fable of Little Red Riding Hood. I would suggest taking the image from a different angle to try to get the subject's entire body in the image. I would also recommend finding a place with better lighting and a better background that is a little less busy in order to keep the focus on the subject and narrative at hand, since she is definitely describing a narrative in the image.